Shalini Srivastava. I'm a leadership coach. Very happy to be here because we are talking about rebuilding India. What a lovely topic. We shall overcome. Huge amount of gratitude and kudos to Skillmap for coming up with such an amazing topic. And I hope that we do definitely create a record. So yes, we shall overcome. We, that is each of us, has to overcome. But overcome what? Last few months, we have seen very unprecedented situation. All because of that small little tiny thing that we can't even see. But that has created huge chaos, confusion in our lives, fear, and also we have seen, so many of us have seen hardship. Now the time has come for us to move forward. Now the time has come to rebuild ourselves, to rebuild India. India is nothing but all of us put together. When each of us work to build ourselves, we will in turn rebuild India. Just imagine, 1.3 billion people of our country have a common vision. Will we not be able to achieve it? Will we not be able to build on it? Will we not be able to overcome situations? Of course we will. If we have a common vision and we are all working towards the same. What is the vision that you have for our country? What is the vision that I have? What is the vision that all of us have for our country? Is it the same? Unless it becomes same, it's going to be a daunting task to rebuild India. Remember, vision is always long-term. Vision is always something that we see in the future. All situations will come and go. In your life, this small little virus is there for about a year, year and a half, we don't know, but definitely not long term. It's a short term thing. Are we going to let this small little short term issue or an unprecedented situation ruin our future? Ruin the vision that we have for our future and our country? Of course not. We shall overcome. And this is the time for us to do that. Now I want you to think about a river that is flowing, coming down from the mountains. Very turbulent, very fast, very high rapids. And you have to cross the river. Yeah, not very easy. But suppose if I tell you that there is a very tight rope which is tied up across the river and you just have to hold the rope and walk through. If you are holding the rope very tightly, do you think you will be able to cross the river? No matter how turbulent it is below. That's what a vision does. If you have a strong vision of the future, it allows you to hold so that you do not get upset of the situations that are there currently. Each of us has to be a leader. Leader's got nothing to do with the position. Leader is within us. When each of us become a self-leader, then and only then we can move forward, lead ourselves, and we can move our country forward. The question here arises is, how do you lead yourself? What are the aspects on which you have to lead yourself? Now we all know that there are three dimensions that each of us have. One is your physical body, the other one is the mental body, and then we have the emotional body. Now, let's talk about the physical body. Few months back, we have seen many of our countrymen walk back home by their own self on foot without any fear. They just walked miles and miles and thousands of miles with family, with little of their belongings. They just went home. Very difficult times, heart pained when we saw that happening, but I have huge gratitude to each one of them, because what they did is they taught us how important it is to have a very strong physical body. Many of us sitting here and listening to me may not have the courage to walk miles together in the heat of April and May, all the way back home. This happened because of a very strong physical body and definitely a mental strength that they had. It's a benchmark that they have created. And I want to ask you to ask yourself, what is it that you need to do to have a strong physical body? Listen to your answer and then do it. No matter how many times anybody else tells us, exercise, walk, do yoga, or whatever, we don't do it till we listen to ourselves. So I'm asking you, to rebuild India, we need to rebuild ourselves. Start with this aspect of your physical strength. Do it. The next level is your mental and then the emotional. Let's talk about the emotional first. What is the emotional thing? What is emotion? Emotion is nothing but how we feel, right? How we feel about ourselves, how we feel about what others think about ourselves. Most of our emotions are related to what others think about ourselves, what others feel about ourselves. If you are a leader, then it is important to you what you think about yourself, what you feel about yourself. And how do you make your emotions stronger? Emotions will get stronger when we have a collective vision of our future. Now, look at what had happened in this whole chaotic situation that we faced. As humanity, we faced it. Many people have gone through depression, very low energy, anger, frustration. They know nobody has a control over this. Then why let a situation affect your own emotions? Now here comes the point that we have to make our emotions stronger. We have to make sure that situations like this, which are very short term, do not impact the way we think about ourselves and the way we feel about ourselves. That can happen when you have a clear vision of the future and emotionally aligned to achieve the vision of your future. If you are sure of where you're going, if you are 100% sure of what the future looks like, then any of these short-term issues, ups and downs, will not affect you emotionally. So it is important to have a very strong connection to the vision of your future and not to let it impact you. That's how you make your emotions stronger. With complete belief on your vision of the future. Like I said, having a common vision of the future, we shall overcome on the emotional issue and make our emotions stronger to rebuild our country. Now I will spend a little time talking about the mental dimension. How do we think? Now this pandemic again has shown us a lot of changes in our lives. We have spent a lot of time at home. We have spent a lot of time with our families. We have spent a lot of time thinking and introspecting about our life, realizing lots of things about our life. We have built strong bonds with people who really matter to us. And we have also understood and cultivated certain habits, hobbies, which we were never having the time or the inclination to do earlier. There's another side of it. We have also seen hardships. We have also seen difficulties. Lots of people have faced huge amount of difficulties, insecurities in job, in business, in the farms. There have been both sides. Mental strength is all about what are you focusing on? What are you believing in? Because what you believe in, you make it happen. As a leader, when you want to strengthen your mental dimensions, alignment with the laws of the universe, the laws of the nature is very important. We are all a part of the universe. Whatever is happening in the universe is impacting us. So, if there is a law of the universe, we need to align ourselves to be able to make our mind stronger. There are many laws of the universe, but I want to discuss only one law at this time, which is nothing but law of attraction. And many of you have heard about it, many of you know about it. This is one law which can be implemented easily by everyone. In fact, I think this should be taught in schools also, because this is one law that can actually change the way people think. If our children are taught about this law from the school, in fact, all the laws of the universe from the school, they will become very strong as human beings. They will be becoming very strong as individuals, and they are the future of our country. We need to rebuild at that level. It should be mandated. Because no matter if you believe or you don't believe, it is there. Now I just want to talk about this episode many years back, centuries back. There was this person who was sitting below an apple tree and an apple fell on his head. And that's how he defined gravity, and he gave a formula. Now, did the gravity exist even before the apple fell? Of course it did. But there was no formula to it. Newton gave a formula to it. Similarly, this is the law. Today we don't have a formula. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It works. Tomorrow somebody may give a formula to it. But we know it works. Why not make it work for ourselves? Why not make it work for our community? Why not make it work to rebuild India? There is always two sides of any situation. The one side that you see will be in alignment with what energies or what is your mental health that you have. If you see what is wrong with the world, then you will get what is wrong with the world. You will attract situations which are not conducive. What you believe in, you will receive. That is the law. Whatever you believe, you will receive. Now, you may have noticed that a lot of people are always looking at what's wrong in the world. Even in this situation, what's wrong in the world? Are they very happy, peaceful, blissful, joyful people? Probably not, because they're always looking at what's not right with the world. Whereas, on the other side, there are people who are always looking at what's happening right, what's good, what can we take from this, what is the silver lining? And you will find those people, and I'm sure you know such people. They will live a very nice, happy, peaceful, blissful life. Isn't that what we want? Happy people are going to build a happy country. Isn't that what we want? If we have to overcome this situation, a large collective and a large population of the country has to move to being happy, to being blissful, and that can happen when we are thinking right, when we are focusing on the right things, and when we are believing on the right things. A very important second point is that if you have visualized a future, then it's so important to start living as if you have that future with you right now. Without doubt, complete belief. When you have a vision of the future, which is long term, and you start living it and believing it without doubt, then you are strengthening the mind. Because then you are focusing the mind not to get too worried about the shutdown. You know this too shall pass, but the focus is moving on the vision. And that is exactly how we will strengthen our minds. Doubt is one thing that actually weakens the mind. When we remove doubt and we start believing, we strengthen our mind. Just imagine 1.3 billion population having a strong mind. Don't you think we are going to rebuild India the way we want it, the way we have a vision of our country? Of course. But to do that, we have to overcome the limitations of mind that are currently being faced. I also want to talk about one secret. And the secret is you may get what you don't want. Because it's not the want that we get, it's the focus that we make things happen. You get what you focus on. Today, if you see in our country, what are we focusing on? There's so many things. Are they all nice things that we want as a part of the future of our country? Probably not. But we are focusing on it. So do you see it increasing? Yes. What we do not want, we are bringing so much of focus to it that is increasing. How about shifting the focus? How about thinking those things that we want as a part of the future of our country? So the secret is you will get what you don't want because the secret is the focus. Focus on what you want. Focus will bring you what you want. Focus will make you work and walk the right path. the path of the vision of the future, the path that you have envisaged for yourself and for your country. Now, last 20 years or so, I have been working on this topic of law of attraction, and I have spent a lot of time understanding the intricate workings of this law, and I have met a lot of people and have helped a lot of people with this law. Some get it, some don't get it. Perfectly all right. But those who get it, they get it so well that they make a huge difference in their lives. They make a huge difference in that community that they live in. And when they are impacting community, if more of us start believing and understanding this law and work with this law, we make a difference on our country and we rebuild India. Don't you want to rebuild India? Don't you want to take it to the glories that you have for your country in your mind? And each of us have it for ourselves in our minds. That is exactly what we have to overcome. We have to overcome the limitations of our mind. We have to overcome the weakness of our emotions. And we have to overcome the weakness of our physical body. These three things, if each person in this country can overcome, then we shall overcome and we will rebuild India. India of our vision, vision of our future. Thank you so much.